Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from TheRightTrader.com here. Today I'm going to be talking about OmiseGO. I got a couple requests to review this cryptocurrency, and I'm going to be doing my usual price prediction and analysis and forecast on this crypto. And yeah, I'll just sort of go on where I think it might be heading in the next 5 years, right? Next couple months out, 2 years, and then 5 years out where I think it'll be. And you know, it's a coin that has some good, some bad. It's definitely not one of the most popular coins. It's not in the top 10. But despite that, it does have quite a bit of attention on it. You know, it has 15,000 followers on its subreddit, and so that's a pretty decent sized community, right? It's not the biggest, but there's multiple cryptocurrencies in the sort of the top 10 that don't have communities that big. So that's a good sign, and I do see a lot of people talking about it, so that's positive as well. And so to sort of start off, I'll just give you all a bit of a rundown for the people who don't know sort of what OmiseGO is kind of working on. And yeah, sort of the fundamentals behind OmiseGO. So OmiseGO is a Asian-based cryptocurrency. It's focusing right now mainly on the Asian market, which is fine. It's good, I think. It's based on the Ethereum network. It actually has Vitalik Buterin and the other co-founder of Ethereum, Gavin Wood, as direct consultants, which is really positive because Vitalik is actually a pretty big player. I mean, I guess maybe the biggest, right, actual person behind any cryptocurrency. And you know, he has a lot of connections in different industries with governments like Russia and stuff. So he's an important person to have on your side, and so I like that about OmiseGO, that they have a person of importance in this whole playing field that is sort of overseeing what's going on over there. So that's good. Otherwise, like I mentioned, so they're sort of going to be acting as their goal is to be a payment processor and sort of an exchange for firms and companies. And so there's a couple other cryptocurrencies, I guess like Ripple, that has a sort of a similar thing going on. But yeah, they're focusing on the Asian market. Like I said, they got a partnership, if I'm not mistaken, with McDonald's in Thailand for over 240 stores, I think. So I'm not sure about all the details on that partnership, but that's a great sign. You know, I really like that about the cryptocurrency. Just to have a company like McDonald's being interested in testing out your functionality is pretty big, right? And you know, I guess you can just imagine if McDonald's alone were to take them globally, what that could do for the cryptocurrency itself, right? So that's another positive. So fundamentally, it has some good stuff going on, right? Getting into some of the numbers now, $8.63 price point. I like that about it. Good price to be, not too small or too high. You know, I can definitely see some growth with that. Afterwards, getting into the supply, 100 million about right now, which is a little bit on the higher side, right? It has a total potential of supply of 140 million. So this is a little bit on the higher supply. Nothing too crazy though, which is, I mean, it's reasonable. You know, it's pretty normal for sort of more service-based and processing-based cryptocurrencies to have a bit of a higher supply. And this is, like I said, in a understandable range. And I will mention, however, that I'm not a massive fan of companies that seem to focus too much on being used only by firms and stuff, and not really focusing on the consumer aspect of things and actual people. And it does seem like OmiseGO is pretty focused on becoming really a payment processor type thing and stuff like that for companies and corporations. But I think that's not the best way to go about it. I like coins that are a little bit more versatile than that. Yeah, I hope that point makes sense for you. Volume, 18 million, not the biggest volume, but a decent size, you know, for the past 24 hours. Decent amount, like I said. So no problems there. Market cap of 848 million. So if we go back to the ranking here, like I said, it's not in obviously the top three, which I consider to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So it's not one of the sort of the main three coins. It's not in the top 10 even. It actually comes out at the 13th spot, right? And like I said, that's why I was saying that it's sort of more of an outlier coin, right? It's in this category where there's a bunch of new, maybe some more experimental coins and stuff like that. So it's not yet one of the main players, but it almost feels like it a little bit because, like I said, it does have quite a bit of following and attention compared to some of the other cryptocurrencies, right? And yeah, 848 million. It was, I think, above a billion just a while back, but it fell back down, which I mean is fine. But yeah, so I mean that's a small market cap, right? That can grow a lot. The problem that I have with that is that I do feel like it is a bit limited by, well, itself and also obviously Ethereum, since it's sort of based on it. But you know, the problem is that there are some cryptocurrencies in the top 10, right? Like Monero, IOTA, Neo, that are, you know, pretty good cryptocurrencies, right? I think they have maybe a bit more to offer than OmiseGO. So I think it's going to be hard for OmiseGO to sort of beat out cryptocurrencies like that, and you know that puts it in a little bit of a tough spot because I don't see it like bypassing the value of some of these other coins. So I can see it rising with them, but still sort of keeping a ratio here. So I don't think it'll just take its own rise to fame, if that makes sense, right? It'll sort of rise with the tide, is a better way to put it. And you know, the chart, right? The chart is definitely important here for the price prediction that I'm going to give you guys. It started off, it's a very like new, I mean, yeah, it went on the market pretty recently, right? 2017, so just a couple months back. And, you know, it started off 53 cents and pretty much, you know, even though it was a pretty stable rise, it was a very quick rise to, it went up to, let's see, its all-time high, about $13. And you know, it had a pretty sharp drop right afterwards to about $7.30. I think it might have dropped a bit lower near $7. So that's going to be an important area of support that I don't think we want to break under. So yeah, watch out for that, right? This is an important, very important, in my opinion, support level to hold. Because if we break through that, I think it might get a pretty nasty drop, right? Back into, you know, the $3 range, possibly $3.50 range. That might be pretty ugly. Right now it's at $8.64. So what I'm trying to say by this is that, you know, it had its uptrend. What's concerning with the chart, and before mentioning this, I will say, as you guys have seen, I like OmiseGO. I think it definitely has multiple things going for it, but I think even like it could very well rise in value. Unfortunately, the chart isn't the nicest thing, right? It's not the best thing. I mean, understandably, it had a massive increase, but it's not a good pattern. And I will also mention with that it has been a pretty stable rise, and even the price action here for the past couple months has been relatively stable and sort of range bound almost. And that's interesting because a lot of these cryptocurrencies aren't like that. They're much more spike prone, crash prone. And so that's good about the coin, right? I like that it's that's a bit tame and stable, but it is something to notice, and I kind of question why it's like that. I'm not too sure. It's definitely sort of an unusual pattern amongst cryptocurrencies. I haven't seen many like this that sort of have this stability, but it's actually a bad pattern because, yeah, I mean, sorry, the movement, the price action, yeah, the movement, I guess, is nice, right? The stability, but the pattern is a bearish pattern, right? This is a head and shoulders pattern in technical analysis. So we have our first shoulder here, the head, and then the second shoulder that seems to be forming here. And this is a bearish pattern, like I said. This usually leads to a drop back down, okay? So, like I said, this is why the support level is so important. Another bad sign is that it did definitely break, it broke out of its uptrend. So we had its uptrend right over here up until here, or really up until here, and sort of in this area, right? It broke down. So it's been in a downtrend now. And yeah, it's still downtrending fully. So, you know, it might reach this sort of support area in the yeah, I guess it could reach that $7 area. So that's a bit concerning, right? I don't want to see it break below that support. So we'll have to I guess wait and see what happens. But like I said, if it does break the support, I will definitely turn bearish on this cryptocurrency. With that being said, though, if it's able to sustain itself and sort of maybe get back into an uptrend, you know, I think that the cryptocurrency will see some good growth. You know, I can see it being a $2 to $3 billion cryptocurrency in market cap. I think that's a fair place to put it, considering sort of the price predictions that I've given some other coins like NEO and stuff. Because yeah, like I said, I don't really see it beating some of these cryptocurrencies. So I can only see it being, you know, below them, right? And like I said, if NEO reaches something like 5 billion, maybe OmiseGO could be 2-3 billion. That's reasonable. But yeah, I guess it sort of depends, right, on how much some of these rise, and I guess it'll be proportionally related to those. So yeah, I hope. I mean, I guess maybe even 4 billion, right? So that's sort of the range I expect. You know, that would be a 200-300% increase. You know, if it reaches that. I guess 300% increase being fair. You know, if things do pan out for the next 5 years, 300% increase, which is good. You know, it might actually end up being a bit of a more stable cryptocurrency. You know, that's kind of what it's looking like to me right now, like I said, with the movement that it's been having. But yeah, you guys got the point, right? This isn't the best chart, but once again, I mean, it's just a question: do you believe in the fundamentals enough at this point? So let me know your thoughts on OmiseGO. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for watching, everyone.